The defendant stands charged with 1 count of murder. I will hear the prosecution's argument, followed by the defense, and then I will make my ruling. Your Honor, the defendant committed a foul crime against the peace and dignity of this realm, and caused fatal injuries and death to an innocent child. The defendant charged at the innocent child without mercy nor care, and tore him so grievously he died of his wounds. The defendant is not only a cold-blooded murderer, but a brigand, and deserves no less punishment than any brigand who preys upon the innocent. I am ready to make my decision. I, Judge Philippe, find the defendant guilty on all counts. The defendant is to have his hands and legs mangled and hanged. Murder! Heretic! Kill him! Cut open this brigand! Okay, let me explain. What you've just seen here is mostly made up by me. Specifically, almost all the dialogue, and also the judge, and the prosecutor, and the crowd. Most of it. However, the trial and punishment itself was very real. This is one of many examples of animal trials. This one specifically took place in the city of Valais, France, 1386. During this trial, according to the writings of Hampton L. Carson, on April 12, 1917, the prisoner, in this case referring to the pig, had caused the death of a child by mutilating the face and arms to such an extent that it caused fatal hemorrhage. The town tribunal had decreed that the animal's hands and legs were to be mangled with a knife before the hanging. This was a medieval application of lex talionis, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Professor von Amira, a German jurist who lived between the 19th and 20th centuries, wrote that animals such as pigs, cows, horses, dogs, and many others which were in the service of mankind could be tried, arrested, and executed like any other member of his household. However, rodents and insects, and of course other animals that were not subject to human control, could not be seized and imprisoned by the civil authorities. However, trials of rodents and insects can be held by ecclesiastical courts. These courts are set up by religious authorities to deal with disputes among clerics or with spiritual matters involving either clerics or laymen. In the case of animal trials, they viewed the damage done by animals, including rodents and insects, as a divine punishment or as a result of demonic influence, rather than just a secular crime. So they could be tried in ecclesiastical courts, as these creatures were seen as instruments of God's wrath or agents of the devil, sent to plague humanity for its sins. When an animal is accused of committing a crime against a human or against his property, the animal was notified and might have been assigned a defense lawyer. In some cases, the owner of an animal could be charged or a co-defendant or complicit in the crime. The owner of a domestic animal found to be responsible for the murder could be hanged if he admitted to having prior knowledge of the animal's bad habits. If found guilty of homicide, which is the intentional murder of a person, the animal could be sentenced to death. The carrying out of sentences was serious and public, and was usually performed by professional executioners. Frequently, large crowds gathered to witness the execution. Sometimes the animal was dressed in human attire prior to being killed. A variety of methods were used to put convicted animals to death, including hanging, strangling, and burning. Sometimes, instead of burning animals while they were still alive, the judge showed mercy and permitted the animal to be singed, strangled, then burnt. The animal might also be tortured before being executed. Example is the trial in Valais. Animal trials were held in many parts of Europe, particularly in France, Switzerland, Tyrol, Germany, the Low Countries, the Southern Slavonic countries, and occasionally in Italy and Spain. And that is all that I have for today. If you want to read my sources, then check the description. If you want to go deeper than I did, then I encourage you to research it yourself. That is all I have today. Thank you for watching. God be with you.